guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to do a mostly full face of Colourpop. Now, I don't have primer, powder, bronzer, or a setting spray, but I have pretty much everything else as far as I can tell. So without any further ado, let's just get into it. The categories I don't have, I am going to stay like in the drugstore affordable range. Things you can get at Ulta. I just want to preface this video by saying that I have tried pretty much every single product that I have here today besides 3 of the eyeshadow palettes because they're decently new, and then most of the Super Shocks I haven't actually tried, but I have tried the formula. Does that make sense? Like, I haven't tried the individual color, but I have tried the formula. The first Colourpop palette I ever bought was Sweet Talk. She looks like this. This was like their first palette with a Super Shock shadow, this one. I love this palette. I think it's beautiful. I've used it quite a bit. I've used all of the shades in here but 3. So I used this palette a lot when I first got it. I do have 3 other new palettes which you've seen before. So I'm going to see like which ones I want to use, maybe use them all in conjunction with each other. I have a lot of Super Shock shadows as well, like a full drawer, like of my singles. They take up a lot of space. So we'll kind of see like what I do. Is the Candy Castle Aura and Out in a Trance. My newest Colourpop palette that's literally still in the unit carton is the So Jaded one by Kathleen Lights. I have not tried this palette yet. It is brand new. And this is what it looks like. The color story is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not really sure like what type of look I'm going for today. But I do want to test this out since I do have it. From what I've tested from Colourpop, which honestly isn't a lot, which would probably be surprising, I like their formula. I like the formula of their mattes. Their Super Shock, I can't say it. Their Super Shocks are really nice. The quality is good for the price. The packaging is always usually like really adorable and cute and thought out. The one complaint I do have about these though is that the pan sizes always look bigger in pictures and on video than they do in real life. It drives me nuts because I'm like, oh yeah, and then you get it and you're like, that is a tiny pan. Like, I know it doesn't matter, but that's just one thing that nobody talks about that I want to talk about. Like, these pans are actually a lot smaller. Like, you think this would be a huge palette, but in reality, it's not actually that big. Like, this is their regular palette. It's really not that much bigger. I went on a hunt for my perfect concealer shade. I have 8 of them and none of them are perfect. And I don't really love to use them as eye primer, but I'm going to use them as eye primer today. It's an okay concealer. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't think it's like the world's best concealer. My favorite concealer is the Ulta Full Coverage Liquid Concealer. It's waterproof. They're like discontinuing it online, I think, because it's like disappearing, but they did that with Flower Beauty's foundation and then it came back, so I'm hoping they're just like getting old stock out and then pushing out new stock. Hopefully they don't change the formula. I have Fair 00, Fair 02, Fair 04, Fair 06, Light 12, Light 14, Medium 20, and Medium 24. So I'm just gonna, this might be a little light. Also probably a little heavy on that lid. Genuine question. Did anybody else get sucked into the Morphe hype when it came to brushes and now you have all of these Morphe brushes and they're like not actually that good and they scratch your eyes and then you don't really use their face brushes because again they're not that good and now you have all these freaking Morphe brushes? Just me. So I want to use the Kathleen Lights and Colourpop So Jaded palette and I want to use this deep green right here. And then I also want to put this green all over the lid and then maybe brighten it up with the shade Diamond down here. And I also really like the shade Stoned right there. I like that type of shade, but I don't usually gravitate towards greens. I'm going to take a Sigma E27 detailed blending brush. One thing I will say about Sigma brushes, there's so many discount codes out there that by the time you use a discount code, the brushes are pretty similar to Morphe prices. I'm gonna go in with a shade right here called Jade with an E27 brush like you just saw. Okay, I'm going in. I'm just gonna like pack and sweep like I normally do and kind of get it above my crease since my hoods literally like to hide everything. I don't have like a lot of hooded eye tips because I just kind of do what works for me. But one thing I will say that works really well is get yourself a brush exactly like an E27. Morphe makes one too. It just needs to be kind of flat but kind of fluffy and tapered a little bit. And what you want to do is you want to put most of your pigment, if not all, on one side. And then you want to flip it to where it's pigment side up. And you just want to put it exactly in your crease and sweep through your crease. Because it'll put all of that color up higher than where it normally would if you put it like pigment on both sides. Like, does that make sense? But it allows you to kind of build your crease instead of just going off your natural crease, which it would all be gone. So I definitely like to make sure I put my transition shade in high, and I like to kind of pack it on. I feel like that's kind of a personal preference on if you blend as you go or if you pack on. I kind of do a little bit of both. I'm just going to clean off my brush with the J-Cat Beauty dry makeup brush cleaner. And I'm just going to start to kind of blend out these edges just with the clean E27. Now I did bring it up pretty high on this eye on accident. We'll see if I can kind of blend some of it away. I'm going to go into the shade My Precious right here on the same brush. And I'm just going to put this basically where I messed up and I brought the green too high to just try to cover up my little mistake and blend it in. And then to kind of really fix it, I'm going to take the same brush I used to put the concealer on, and I'm just going to kind of blend away the mistake I made. I think that looks better. And then I'm just going to go back into the same green shade we started with, Jade, and I'm going to carefully build it back. Okay, I think I want to take more of a detailed brush and go in with the shade Stoned right here. And I think I just want to kind of deepen up the crease, like my actual crease, not the one that I kind of built up. I'm just going for like a full fall smoky eye. I think I'm going to go into the shade with that small brush I was using, the shade Destiny in my Subculture palette. I know this isn't Colourpop, but I kind of just, I feel like I need just a little bit deeper of a green. And also this is like one of my fall palettes and I need to get some use out of it. I'm going to take this e.l.f. blending brush. It looks like this. And I think without any product on it, I'm just going to blend. I'm going to put down Subculture, pick back up my E27 Sigma brush, go back into the shade Jade, that green shade we started with, and again just place this up here. I'm taking my time with this because again I don't use greens a lot, so I think I'm going to go back in with this e.l.f. Detail Crease brush. Looks like this. I'm going in next with the shade Citrine right here, and I'm gonna take it like slightly above because I like the way that this green is going, but I kind of want like to pull in a little more yellow. Hi.
I think YouTube needs to know that on this day the Raiders beat the Panthers 34-30.
We did?
Yeah.
How did we beat them?
I have no idea.
My camera literally just like fell when Colin was in here, and it like fell right into my palette, so that was fun. I just kind of want to bring like a little bit of brightness back. I don't want this to be like super grungy, super smoky. I'm gonna go in with this Sigma E33 Detail Diffused Crease Brush. So I was reading that upside down. This is like what the brush itself looks like. I'm gonna go back into Jade, the first color we used, and just kind of blend the yellow and the green back in together. And then one last thing, I'm gonna take the e.l.f. fluffy, this is the e.l.f. blending brush. I'm gonna take that, go back into the My Precious shade that we used to fix this eye, and I'm just gonna go kind of like around the yellow, just clean that up just a smidge because I feel like it's getting just a little too high for my eye shape personally. To finish the eyes, I think I'm just going to go into the shade Emerald right here. It's like really beautiful. Oh. Colourpop shimmers are just so nice. They're just so creamy and buttery, and there's crazy amounts of pigment to them. I'm just gonna put this on my lid. Alright, with no product on it, I'm gonna take the Elf Detail Crease Brush, the small tiny one, and I'm just gonna blend the shimmer into the crease. Just kind of blend all the greens together. I'm gonna take this, I think. I'm pretty sure this was last summer's collection. It was the Halo Top and Colourpop collection of their Super Shocks. It's in the shade Semi Sweet. Oh, it's pretty bright. Okay, so just to kind of give you a comparison, this is the shade Semi Sweet in the middle right here. That was the Colourpop Halo Top. This one is Soul Sister in the In a Trance, and then this one is Healing Heart. Just if you want like to use something similar but different, you could go in with Soul Sister. I think it's just a shade too light, so I am gonna use the Super Shock that I have. I'm just gonna pack this on a clean-ish E27 from Sigma, the very first brush we used. I'm just gonna tap over the shimmer and just try to blend it into the other shimmer that we have. And then I think I'm just gonna take a small amount of Emerald on this E27 and just put it next to it. And again, blend it out. Kind of just create a halo eye with Halo Top. Sorry, I had to. You know what, and on top of that, I just realized that in the So Jaded palette, there's another light green shimmer called Peridot, and I'm just gonna put that on top. I think this is as good as it's gonna get. Let's get into the face. Now, I don't have a Colourpop primer as previously mentioned, so I'm gonna use this Makeup Revolution Hydrate Primer. I don't think I've actually used this primer because it's really full. I legitimately do not ever remember using this. I don't want to use too much because I do have decently oily skin. But I do like a hydrating primer. It doesn't really have a scent. It's kind of tacky. It does just feel like a regular moisturizer, but like with a little bit of slip. I'm just gonna fill in my pores just a little bit with the Catrice Prime and Fine Smoothing Primer. I don't know if you can get this anymore. I haven't seen it on Ulta's site in over a year. Like, I swear I bought this and right after I bought it, it just like disappeared. And it's one of my most used pore filling primers. I like this stuff because I feel like it doesn't actually make your makeup slip off. Like, it kind of grips it. Most pore filling primers like literally just make your makeup just off. Especially the Benefit Professional. I don't like that stuff. For a base, I do have the Colourpop Pretty Fresh, like hyaluronic acid tinted moisturizer. And then I also have the Colourpop No Filter stick. I actually am probably one of the few people that actually likes the stick. I love the tinted moisturizer. I think it is fantastic. I have a good skin day. Whenever I wear this, like if my skin just like is not having it, I just put this on because I don't know what is in this stuff, but it's magic. And I like it because it's actually pigmented. It's obviously not as pigmented as a foundation, but there is still pigment in it. And it's actually beautiful. The formula wears really well. I have pretty decently oily skin with dry patches, and I don't have any issue with how this wears. I don't have issues with it sliding off. It wears away like pretty natural, as where if I normally wear foundation and I put powder and all the layers on it, it typically looks cakier the longer I wear it. This just kind of looks better. And then the foundation stick, I haven't used this in a hot minute, so I don't have like I don't have a super hot take on this because I haven't worn it in quite a bit, so I do kind of want to try it, but I don't really want a heavy makeup day, so I think I'm just gonna put this on the areas that are just like maybe a little more red. I have like a pimple right there, a little buddy that needs to go away. I have a few in my hairline, like I don't even know how I got them. I smacked my head on my desk chair and it just unlocked acne. Weird, right? I am in the shade Light 5N in the Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer, and I'm in the shade Light 40N in the stick. Well, I'm just gonna cover up this area of my face. Did you see the pigment of this thing? I always need extra coverage, like right in my cheek area. That's about all I'm gonna use of that. And then I'm gonna go in. I usually do about a pump at a time of this. If you haven't tried this, I think it's well worth the $14, I believe. Yeah, that's how much a pump is. I think it's pretty like fresh. It looks nice. You can still like obviously see imperfections. And my skin looks like skin, which is definitely what I enjoy. You can see like my dry patches. It's not a big deal. I covered my spot about as much as I'm gonna get it to cover, which is totally fine. I'm thinking light 14 might be a good concealer shade. It's alright. Oh, it's a little dark. Just a little bit. So I'm just gonna take fair 6. I think I was supposed to go in with light 12. Oh well. And I'm just gonna dot that. Gonna take a bit of light 12. Yeah, that would have been perfect for under my eyes. Whoops. Blend this out. I don't like this concealer. I think that's my genuine, my consensus. I don't like this concealer. Doesn't it look super cakey now? It's like super, super cakey on my chin here. Like it just looks bad. I can see like exactly where I put it too. Oh no. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to just throw away those concealers because I think they're expiring. Let me just zoom you in. Now you can see all the cake that is my face. Am I crazy? I feel like I'm not. No, I don't like those concealers. Don't like them. Okay, let's just quickly set the rest of my face. I'm gonna use my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and I'm just gonna go in with this Sephora Pro Flawless Airbrush number 56. I'm making great progress on this. Like, I am so happy. I'm just gonna reset all of this again. Oh, I'm so glad to have this powder almost done. I can get out of my collection. I bought this when this first launched. That's how long I've had it. Look at the progress on it. I did recently try this and I wanted to test it out again. It's the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder Palette. I have used this one time. I know one video you shot. I haven't used it very much. I'm so overusing my Physicians Formula bronzer right now. I'm going to take the lightest shade right here on a Complex Culture Press, Set, and Bronze brush. This is such a good bronzer brush. I freaking love it. Because I like to actually press in my bronzer and then blend it out. I just feel like this is the perfect brush to do that with because I can like press it onto my temples and then blend it out, press it onto my forehead and then blend it out. And it's just so soft and it's such a high quality brush. I got this in, I believe an Ipsy bag like way back when I did Ipsy. I say way back, but it was like 7 months ago. It's soft, but it's also kind of densely packed in there. So it really blends everything out without messing up your foundation. Every single bronzing brush that I've tried always messes up my foundation underneath. The weird thing about this is I was looking for a good blush brush and I really wanted to see what this brand had. And so I went to their website and they released one of those kind of like half fan brushes. Scott Barnes has one. I don't want to pay Scott Barnes prices for that type of brush. And they had it, but it was sold out. And then I swear to you, like a week later when I went to go look, it was just gone. Like it just doesn't exist. Like the brush literally does not exist. And I feel so crazy because I saw it. I saw it. I sound like Pam in The Office. Yeah, I love this brush. I think it's amazing quality and it's worth the price. I think this is like a $30-ish brush. Don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure. I love it though. I think it's amazing. It'll be in a brush favorites or like a favorites whenever I get around to filming that next. Also, so far, I really like these bronzers. I think they're pretty nice. They're smooth. They don't patch. They don't like pull up my foundation. Sometimes I get that problem. I have Colourpop's Super Shock blushes. I have this one in the shade Count Me In, and then I have this one in the shade Get Laid. I'm gonna use Count Me In. And I really like using these blushes on a duo fiber. This is Sigma's new F53 Air Contour Blush Brush. I've been trying to get my hands on this since Kelly Gooch said that it was like her favorite brush. They were out of stock, and then I finally got it 35% off. And then like the next week they announced they're doing 40% off code, so that was cool, Sigma, thanks. And I kind of like to take mine almost like in a mix of where I would put highlighter, but also if I was to wear really low bronzer, but kind of like where you put blush. And then I just like to sweep it across the rest of this. I'm not a crazy blush fan, so I don't love to wear like a lot. I really like this Super Shock blushes. I really wish they would bring back, which I didn't even know they had until I was looking for a dupe for the Chanel bronzer. I wish they would bring back Super Shock bronzers, but their sister brand, Sol, did just come out with body bronzers, and I was so tempted to pick that up. I do have the Milk Makeup Baked contour stick or bronzing stick, so I don't really need that because I already have one. Highlighters, I have 3 of the Villains collection because I thought this was like the best art ever. I really only bought these Super Shock highlighters for the packaging. I'm a sucker. Like this shade, Dr. Facilier, Meet Me on the Other Side, Super Shock highlighter. Look at how dark this is. Look at how pale I am. Like, it's never gonna work for me. I don't know why I bought this shade, because I bought it for the packaging. I literally bought it for the packaging. I didn't even buy it for the shade. It is, they're the smoothest formula ever. I really should pull this out and use it as a single shadow, especially like, I think it would look really good as a fall tone eyeshadow. This one's like my least favorite packaging because I don't really like Cruella de Vil. I've never liked the Dalmatians movies. This is probably the only one that will work for me. And then the Hades one, I love Hades. This one is also dark, but it has like a pink-ish shift to it. Let me show you. It's dark, but like when you swatch it, it seriously doesn't look too dark on my skin. Like I could probably make that one work. I might just use this one. This is just a regular Super Shock cheek in Smoke and Whistles. This is the Real Techniques setting brush. I've been wanting to get my hands on this for a while, so the last time I placed an Ulta Beauty order, the very first day of the 21 Days of Beauty, the only order I've placed, I finally bought it. That's a pretty highlighter. Pretty highlighter. Yeah, I like that. Does anyone else like over highlight their Cupid's bow? Literally me. I think it looks so nice. Going back into the So Jaded palette and using the e.l.f. Detail Crease Brush, I'm just gonna go back into Jade and blend this on my lower lash line. So when Colourpop like reformulated their eyeliners, I bought the whole set, and now they've added more. And I don't have those shades, but I have like the original full set. I think I'm just gonna go with Vaseline. I think I'm just gonna full send it. I'm terrible at lining my eyes, which is funny because the only makeup I ever used to wear was eyeliner. It's a blue shimmery eyeliner, and it was a mess. And I have very hooded eyes, so I shouldn't have worn. And it was just like raccoon eyes. Like I didn't even wing it or anything, blend it out, just like put eyeliner on and call it good. So the good old days. I'm gonna get real nostalgic real quick. Speaking of good old days, the only makeup I had when I first started doing makeup was a shimmery blue eyeliner that I stole from my mom. I had an Almay foundation because I bought it at like a liquidation store. And then I also had, now this is a throwback. If any of you remember this collection, leave a comment. Let me know what you owned or if you just fawned over it. I had the Taylor Swift CoverGirl collection. Not the whole thing. I had the lip gloss, the concealer, I think there was a concealer, the foundation, and the mascara. I remember specifically having at least the foundation and the lipstick. I might have had more. Let me look it up. 2010! This was 10 years ago. I've been doing her makeup since I was 12. I am so shocked. I didn't realize I'd been doing the makeup that long. Yep, she had a silk foundation. There was a mascara, the Lippy. It was only available at Walmart. It was in a Walmart exclusive. Someone has it. Like in the package. I know this is so random, but it's like a piece of my memories that I didn't even realize I had until I started like thinking about when I first did my makeup. So that's gonna do it for eyes. I'm gonna come back with eyebrows and mascara on. Okay, we're back. Mascara, my brows are on. Let me go over what I used. I used the Colourpop Precision Brow Pencil in the shade Bangin' Brunette. I don't like this. I've had this for a hot minute. I don't like it. If I had no other brow products and it was in the back of a drawer, I would have to use this. Like, I would use an eyeshadow before I used this. And the reason I say that is because I don't like how emollient this is. It's like you have to use the lightest hand, and if you go too hard, you just have like this harsh line under your brows. I don't like that. I like a stiffer formula because in my head, if it's stiffer, not like super stiff, you know, where it's where it's literally breaking as you're drawing it on, but if it's stiffer, it's gonna last longer. This slips off my face because I'm oily. Brow products tend to wear off the quickest for me. Like, my brows just go whoop and it's gone. Like, I fill them in and like you can barely even tell that I filled them in, and I have, and then it just disappears. Anyways, I don't like this. If you like more of an emollient brow pencil, go with this. Another thing I don't like is that it's a one-way twist. You can't twist it back down. I like their Brow Boss pencil. That one's stiffer. I completely used mine up. I like that so much more. It's stiffer, but it's not too stiff. It lasts really long. It's just a superior brow pencil in my opinion. I do also have the brow pomade in Bangin' Brunette. I do not enjoy this like at all. I haven't even used it that much. I've maybe used it 2 or maybe 4 times total, 5. Again, it's too emollient. I like a stiffer brow because I feel like their Brow Boss gel is one of my favorites. I use the shade Light Brown. This is my favorite tinted brow gel. It has a tiny little wand, really gets in there, you know, like I enjoy it. I don't try too many brow gel products because like I found what I like, so I don't really like to switch it up. And I think this is probably, besides the concealers, my least favorite thing from Colourpop. I thought I liked this. It's their Bff Volumizing Mascara. This is in the shade Black on Black. I thought I really liked this when I first tried it. That was a while ago. Probably shouldn't have used this. It is what it is. And I used it today. I don't like this. I mean, it's still decently wet for by being probably over a year-ish old, but I only used it like 2 times, so I figured it was safe enough. That stuff doesn't bother me. I don't know. I'm really weird about... I feel like I'm weird about makeup, but like other people are weirder than I curled my lashes, but it just feels like my lashes are just like wanting to just stick out instead of like curl up. There's like not a ton of volume. I did like 3 layers of this stuff, and that's what this looks like. Typically on 1 layer, this is what my lashes look like with a Maybelline mascara. It didn't separate my bottom lashes. They just kind of made them like look like that. I don't know. I don't like this formula. I think I'm gonna actually put this in my empties because I don't want to really keep trying it. 2 of my favorite lip pencil shades from Colourpop is BFF and BFF2. All-time favorite. I love these. I think they're fantastic for the price. They are sharpened pencils, but they're super creamy, so I don't mind that at all, and they're affordable. I have quite a bit of lip products from Colourpop, so I have all of these glosses, 3 of the Villains colors, a regular lipstick shade, and then the new Candyland roller lip gloss, and 3 of the balms from the Colourpop Land collection. I don't think, besides their lip pencils, I don't think Colourpop's strong suit are their lippies. That's just my opinion. I don't love their formula. I think it's okay, but it's like, it works. Their Villains collection, again, like by far my favorite Colourpop packaging. My favorite any brand packaging, honestly. And the attention to details, like the fact that they got Villains on the side of the actual lipstick tube component, amazing. And these are heavy. These seriously feel like $60 lipsticks. They're amazing. I just kind of wish they would bring this back and like make this part of their brand in a way. The luxe heavy feel, the branding on the side. I don't know if anybody else agrees with me. So I tried a lip combo that I didn't like. So I'm just going to reline my lips with BFF2. Okay, and then I'm going to go back over it with Moonchild. This was the Kathleen Colourpop's Ultra Glossy Lip collab. I don't even think this is available anymore. Half the stuff like literally isn't available anymore. This isn't really any better. This is darker than that, but it's not peach. I don't love peach lips. Okay, so I think that is going to do it for the full face of mostly Colourpop. I do only love select things that I have tried from Colourpop, and I do think I will, after doing this video, I will be decluttering quite a bit of Colourpop products. Standout things that I don't like: their concealer, their mascara. One thing I didn't talk about that I don't like, I don't really love their ultra glossy lip formula, specifically the Villains ones, because these have like ridiculously sized glitter in them. It feels like sand on your lips. The one I'm wearing today, the Moonchild one, doesn't feel like that, but the other ones do. I did like the So Jaded palette. I just think that using the concealer as a base didn't really help this palette. I kind of wish Colourpop would come out with an eye primer. I think it would more than likely be a really good product. Their creams are usually good. They know how to do eyeshadows. I don't see why they wouldn't know how to do an eyeshadow primer. I mean, e.l.f. has a fantastic one. NYX has a great one. Makeup Revolutions are pretty good. This was like pretty much a standout for me. I love their Super Shocks. I think they're amazing. Their eyeliners are the best eyeliners I've ever tried and will ever try because I love their formula that much. I do like their brow products. I'm pretty select about what I do like. Their blush is good. I haven't ever tried one of their bronzers. Maybe one day. Their highlighters are gorgeous. I do want to eventually try their loose powder and possibly their pressed powder. Right now I don't need powder. I have a lot in my collection, so I won't be buying any like anytime soon. I like how this look turned out. I kind of wish I would have done a different mascara. Like, this mascara is alright, but it's not my favorite. My brows, I mean, overall, I think this is like a really pretty look and I do like it. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed me doing a mostly full face of Colourpop. And if you do like this style of a full face of one brand, let me know down below what brand I should do next. Now that I think about it, I did do a mostly full face of Makeup Revolution, which I'll leave in the cards. It's not the best quality video because I was filming on my HX80. It was overexposed. But if you want me to redo that video, let me know. I would more than likely have everything to redo that video if you guys are interested. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I will leave all my social medias as well as the playlist I'm listening to currently this week from Apple Music down below. I hope you guys don't forget to subscribe, like if you liked today's video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!